Hello. Welcome to Monday.
She's back.
I'm back.
It was weird without you.
It was weird not being with you. Like, I caught a little bit on Thursday on our way out, and you just think, like, I miss y'all. We had a blast, though. I mean, my son got married. I get a daughter. I have a new daughter, and it was incredible. Also, lots of bears.
Here too.
Okay, yeah. All right, listen.
She missed the bear.
I missed the bear. So I was following along with the bear, and I thought, wow, that stinks. So Will and the boys played golf on Thursday. They saw 7 bears. Then we were there on Thursday as well, but not until the nighttime. Then the Dunns, Chris and Angela, were getting in their car yesterday, and KD sent us a picture. A bear had tried to get in their car. I owe them a new handle. And then a bear, when my mom had come out to put her suitcase in the car on Saturday night late, like just walked. She was at her car, and the bear was to her right. And she said she just saw this hulking figure move on down where we were all staying. They were everywhere. They were at where we stayed at our house. Our house was down the hill from the venue, and they came up to the line. So y'all may have had a bear here, but it was just like foreshadowing that the Shaver weekend, it was a wedding weekend, but it was also a bear weekend.
Well, Allison called it because when James Spann posted that morning that he was literally right there, Allison on the way in was like, oh, it'd be funny if he just, popped out during the show or whatever. And then 15 minutes into the first segment with Bubba, and we get a text from people downstairs that the bear was right outside. But then what's funny is when Caitlin was up, I went down to look at it, and everybody was like down there, like talking about it. And I was like, where'd he go? They were like, oh, he went to the neighbor's, backyard. And I just walked outside and went out and looked. I was like, I can't see it. Can y'all see it? And I looked back, and everybody was like,
he almost died.
Just walked outside and looked at it.
We almost lost him.
But
JP, was he right? Was he just right there?
Nah, he was gone. But yeah,
But what's happening? Okay, I grew up in Knoxville. We were in the Smoky Mountains all the time. Never saw a bear. Never, ever saw a bear. So what is this? Is this human pollution where it's pushing them out of the woods? Are they getting more confident? Is there a virus that's making them confused?
Allison, these are the thoughts that I had, because I thought, I've literally lived here in Birmingham, except for the time that Chris and I lived away for his training for 6 years. I've lived in Alabama since I was 6 months old. This has never happened. We maybe saw a bear at my parents' farm once when my kids were itty bitty. And the fact that this summer they couldn't quit talking about how many bears they saw. They have them on video. They're like, tie up your trash. Make sure you lock the trash can. It was unbelievable. And now I know our friend Bobby's going to tell us that they are just on their trek home, which I understand because it's kind of like the migration of the birds. We have the same birds that come through our backyard. But this is really weird. This is weird.
Yeah, I think their home is gone because it doesn't. I mean, Shelby was running through Lee Branch past Panera down the sidewalk. Then he crossed 280 and made it to Camp Argus. And now he's at somebody's backyard and stare at. And it's like, if you started in Oak Mountain, which I thought maybe Oak Mountain State Park, okay, fine. You go to my friend's house. She's got a pool and a salt cube, whatever. Okay, we're checking that out. Maybe you go check out a few other neighbors. And then you go back home. We're miles. We're not even headed. Maybe he wants to go to Talladega National Forest. I don't know. But I don't think this is normal. We must be destroying their homes.
Are we going to try to tranquilize him and get him back to his wherever it is? Is he tagged? Have we attempted to find any of those things out as far as the tag goes?
Apparently, JP, did you know 5 deputies showed up at the studio the other day?
Here?
Yeah.
No.
They called.
Oh, I know they called because I was down there right after they called. Yeah.
Yeah. And 5 of them showed up and just kind of stared and said there's nothing they can do as long as until there's an incident.
Okay. Let me just help you.
Till
Okay.
someone dies and is eaten.
Okay. I am still tired, but delighted to be here because I missed y'all. This is not how we approach it, guys. Okay. This is me post-wedding. I don't really care. We do not approach it as until there's an incident. I was told there would be no light outside of 119 out of a neighborhood that you Broken Bow near Briarwood until there was an incident. Okay. I love you guys. I appreciate what you do for our community. That is not the wisest way to think about this circumstance. Somebody out there, and maybe it's because my daughter's a wildlife biologist, but we can tranquilize this thing, check for a tag, and figure out where to place him so that he is not a danger to himself or to us, and to make sure he gets back where he needs to go, like the Talladega National Forest. But waiting until an incident is why America is the way she is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so waiting until the bear becomes a danger and mauls somebody is not wise. That's said with love, like with all the love I can muster this morning. That's not wise. Okay, that's like waiting for disaster to happen. Somebody get it together, tranquilize the dadgum bear before he gets to my brother's house, and get him back where he needs to go. That's just love and compassion. That's all.
I think James Spann may have posted they think he's heading to South Alabama.
Oh,
because that's like the normal migration track. It's just rare that they come through Metro Birmingham, but that was the hypothesis, was that if we just let him be, he'll go to South Alabama where they go.
oh, good.
So you're saying bears migrate south?
I don't know if it was James Spann or somebody posted that. This is their normal track. It's just rare that it comes through Metro Birmingham like that.
Okay. I look,
No,
I'm not buying it.
no, that's.
No. I mean, James knows a lot. I get it, but I'm not buying it. Although I do have a solution.
What's your solution?
Let's put a license plate on his butt and just flock his movements.
You know what, Allison? I bet we can already look at his movements because the flock cameras are everywhere.
They are everywhere. But I guess we don't need flock cameras because everybody's just taking pictures with the bear. But I just think it's weird. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I'm with you. I think we're going to wait until somebody's farm is destroyed or your dog. I don't even know if those count as an incident, or does it have to be a human?
You know what? I don't either. I don't know what counts, but I feel certain that we could kind of make tracks and get this puppy back, this big giant puppy back where he belongs. I know we don't know that, but I'm just, guys, raise your hand if you've lived in Alabama your whole life. Okay. I mean, I got here as quick as I could. I'm very glad to be alive. But like, really? So let's help him help himself before he hurts us or cars, but mainly us. You know, or runs in traffic and gets run over. We don't want that to happen. We want Shelby to live and to go do what Shelby does.
Think about, I've never hit a deer, but think about the damage a deer will do to your car or your truck.
Oh,
Imagine
no.
hitting a giant 600-pound. I don't know how much Shelby weighs.
Shelby's big.
Pretty big, yeah.
Shelby's a heifer.
Shelby's such a heifer. Love it. Oh,
she a heifer.
She.
Oh, do
so
we think
big.
it's a she?
It is a she. I think they confirmed. That's why the name is Shelby.
Well, how do you know she's a
Shelby
she?
can identify as a man or a woman.
How do you?
The bear experts.
How?
I don't know.
Did you get close enough to inspect the parts?
I don't know. You can probably tell by their facial structure, their ears.
There's no way.
Probably.
What are you
JP,
saying
you're
that God
feeding us a bunch of
gave us like identifiers between male and female things?
Yeah, I think so.
That's shocking.
I know, right?
Oh.
Bone structure, strength.
It's just,
We're gonna talk about Sophie Cunningham later.
I cannot wait to have this conversation. Okay. Well,
body size.
Yes.
I shouldn't Google. How can you tell the difference between a male and female bear?
Well, when a mommy
no.
and a daddy love each other, a mommy and daddy bear love each other.
Do you realize? I'm glad I didn't know if there were any bear nearby the wedding on Saturday, because they were right there.
Yeah, we're in prime bear territory.
I was
for
in
sure.
bear territory.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm
No,
closing this
Allison,
down.
no. But before I forget, I would like to wish my son and our precious Kenzie a happy honeymoon. They're off today.
That's so cute. Where are they going? Can you tell
darling.
us?
Turks and Caicos. And they just were glowing. They've dated long distance 3.5 years. It's
Wow.
time. They made it. Several of her athletic friends were there, like from different teams. An Olympian was there. That was very fun. But what was more fun was to see everybody in one place celebrating. Rehearsal dinner was at a barn, and the rushing stream was just like the background music, and then a rustling breeze and good conversation. And the food was barbecue.
I love that.
It was really fun
because you were the florist
I
or the florist helper.
I had so much fun doing the flowers. And then my friend Holly and then Kimberly helped me on Saturday. Holly helped me through the week. I'll show you pictures. It was delightful. And we may or may not do that some more. I don't know. But it was delightful. And the Lord showed off for the entire weekend. And she has a lovely, lovely family. And I think Chris and her brother are now best friends.
Would you recommend a destination wedding?
Yes. If they kept it purposefully to one number, I think that's easier. And it's easier to get your RSVPs earlier than you would for a regular wedding, because they knew weeks ago how many people were coming.
Yeah.
So you could plan well. And that was great. But just as easy, they could have gotten married, at a church in Charlotte or in Birmingham, just depending. But it was very fun. It was really, really fun. And they threw down on the dance floor.
Aww.
Like, they got down.
That's so much fun.
Everybody danced. And we did a bubble send-off for them, but they left their phones in the bridal suite. So they had to turn around and come back. And then they ended up talking to all their friends in the parking lot. It was the most anti-ta-da. And then turn around, I was like, there's his lights. And then Chris runs out with both phones and he goes, I got your phone. But it was precious.
That's memorable.
It was very memorable. And I will show you pictures in the break, but it was really sweet. And my mom and dad made it. And I'm really glad that the bear didn't eat my mother. She's not a very tall lady.
Your mom could have taken him on somehow.
I feel like she could have.
She seems scrappy.
She's scrappy.
I've never met her.
She's a scrappy girl. It was very fun.
She raised you.
And then Rosie turned 4 yesterday. And she came to my house dressed as Super Kitty today.
What is Super Kitty?
Well, it's a cartoon.
Is that on furry?
No, this child actually knows who she is.
Super Kitty.
Super Kitty. So she was dressed
JP,
up.
I'm going to need a picture.
Okay.
So I'm going to, hey, Emmy, could you send me a picture of Rose in her mask and little costume? Because when you're 4, what do? You dress up in what your grandparents give you. And you show up.
Oh!
And you make your grandmother's day because you came to the door full costume and wanted oatmeal. Which she calls
You should
porridge.
ask for more.
Isn't that cute? She came dressed as her.
Stop.
To the front door as that.
Stop. Super wild.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
Okay.
So there you go.
This is precious. I need pictures of the real Super Kitty that came to your door.
I'll send you.
I
Super
also
Kitty
need to
pictures.
know if you finally bought her the English speaking.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I did this yesterday in Target. Sorry, Rosie. I picked him out and I made sure it said English. Because last year, remember, on these little Tony's thing, these cute little figurines, you press them on the music situation and it sings the song from that musical or that Disney show. And last year, I did get the cute little figurines, got the music box, but they were in Spanish.
So it was Let It Go in Spanish?
Yes, and she knows all the words. She now speaks Spanish. You're welcome, Rosie. And I got her 2 this year to make up for my fail. And they both said English, English. And Emmy even said to her, "Look, Rosie, they're both in English."
She said, "Way to go, honey."
She was very excited. I'm so ashamed. So
Well, this should be
it's fine.
bilingual now.
Yes.
Yeah. So I contributed to that. Okay, you guys, what else did I miss over the weekend besides the bear?
The Bear and Bubba in Bryland. So we
Mhm.
BBB. The dinner, the Algot dinner.
I have a story from that, by the way. I've saved for the show.
Really?
Story from what?
Interaction I had at the dinner. That was funny.
With whom?
I don't know. So
What?
we were.
Where was I?
You were upstairs at the round table still.
Okay.
And I was mingling with all the people I could mingle with. And I made a trip to the bar, got a drink, and then I was talking to actually Lloyd Peoples. So he can vouch for this story. He saw it with his own eyes. I had the drink in my hand, in my right hand, and I was looking towards Lloyd, who was on my right. And all of a sudden, while I'm talking, I'm mid-sentence, I feel these 2 hands firmly placed on my left forearm, like firmly placed. And I look down and it's a lady's hands. And I go, "Oh, it's somebody I know." And I look up to see who it is. I have no idea who this lady is. And she's staring at my drink. And she goes, "Is that alcohol?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she goes, "Where?" And this lady was like the age of my grandmother. She was like in her 80s. And I pointed out the bar and she goes, "Thank you," and walks away.
No.
Did you
No.
invite her on the show? We
No.
need to hang out with her.
But Lloyd looked at me and goes, "That's a woman that knows what she wants." But yeah,
I
that
love
was
it.
my main, and on top of Tim Burchett, obviously, which was the highlight of my night.
Tim was awesome. I got to go in the round table with Tim and Bruce Pearl, and that was just, it was a bunch of Knoxville. Oh gosh. And then, but Bruce really is all, I don't know. It's confusing. We talked
Bruce.
basketball, talked Jerry Green when I was a Vol hostess back in the days of Jerry Green.
Mm.
That was funny. I really think y'all, this is crazy. The highlight for me was we ran into Yaya,
Mhm.
We did.
Katie Britt's mom,
Love her.
and I met her dad. He is precious. Like I don't know. Did you get to talk to him?
I shook his hand. Yeah.
He was like the cutest man. It really, like we got back to the room and it said Jared, because Jared got to meet him. I was like, he was so cute. I don't know how to describe it. They were just so much fun.
Mm.
Yaya was like all over the place. So
She remembered
Fun.
us very well.
yeah.
Oh.
And then I don't remember her dad's name, but Mr. Britt was just delightful. She had a line. Katie
Yeah,
had
she did.
a line. She didn't do a round table. She was down in the VIP
Mhm.
reception and just took pictures, and she had her t-shirts out. So it was Tim Burchett and Bruce Pearl, and then Brandon Gill and Brylan together. And then Tommy Tuberville, Garland Gudger, and Nathaniel Ledbetter. So Jared went into Brandon Gill's, which was my husband then volunteered to run his presidential campaign in
I
Alabama.
have no doubt that he will do that.
And Jared was just beside himself, but it was good. And there was a lot going on. Did you see the walkout where did you happen to see that?
saw
I
the
saw that
video.
online.
Yeah.
It was great.
What song was
Crazy.
playing?
A bunch of songs.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Oh,
When
I love that
Tuberville-
part.
When all of them were,
Did you stay
it
for
was
that
a
part?
flock. Yeah, it was a flock.
I
That was
saw
awesome.
Ziegler was on the right wing. I
Yeah.
saw Andrew Sorrell and Wall, and yeah, it was all, I think Corey Hill was winging the other side.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm.
Catherine,
Catherine Tubbs.
John Wall.
That looked so good and quite powerful.
Yep.
To see all that. Was it set up like our Trump and the Gump event, but with a giant walkway in
Yes.
between?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a giant walk. I guess it was just, it was in the same room.
Allison and I just almost got ran over by the flag, the marchers with the flag.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
we were standing there, we're like, where are they? And then we see they pivot and like, oh, they're coming right at us. Yeah, get out of the way.
Oops.
It was fun, but I'm trying to think what else she missed.
That's pretty much all the things.
Yeah, I mean, it'll come to us.
Yeah.
It'll come
Okay,
to us.
then.
But welcome back.
Good. Thank you. It's good to be back. It's good to be here.
By the way, we got some comments.
Oh, yes, please.
First, once in future on Twitter, he said the birds, bees, and bears on Monday morning.
Appropriate.
Chris from Starrett said, good morning, team. Happy Monday. He also said we had bears join us at family reunions in the smokes.
Really? Okay. So Chris is from Knoxville too, and he had more encounters. I just never saw one.
Also, we stayed at the most incredible cabin. I would stay there again. It was literally, you could walk a trail to get to the venue from our house, but it was the best one we've ever stayed at. I'm going to save it.
I'm curious because by the way, I wrote down, I almost ran over John Merrill this morning.
Oh, sure you did. How did
Forgot
you
to
do
ask
that?
you that. Does he know? Does he know it was you?
No, he doesn't know it was me. Hold on. Let me finish. Well, hold on. Go back to John Merrill. But did the fire from years ago up there?
Yes.
The last time we were up there, the cabin we stayed in, all the trees, all the forest was still really demolished. Was it like
Really?
that for y'all?
No, and we went pretty quickly after the fire all those years ago, and it was, and we'd been a couple of times just to check the venue and other things, but it looked like it was flourishing.
Okay, good.
You couldn't
Growing back.
tell.
Okay.
So I'm wondering where Chris from Starrett, I guess he just lives there, but I'm going to call it the Smokes from now on. And I guess I understand that bears are part of our life now, because what it could be is that they are so populous now from being devastated, because we don't really know if any of them were killed during the wildfires. Maybe they've repopulated, and that's maybe an overflow, like the deer
They're
in
like,
our backyard.
we almost died. We better populate.
Yeah, let's get busy.
Hence back to the birds and the bees.
Yes.
Birds, the bees, and the bears.
Love it.
Okay, so I had to go by the post office this morning.
Oh my gosh.
And I literally drove up and said, the post office is popping. It was like 9:15 and the parking lot was full. So I go in and I already had my label. I was prepared and I just scanned it in. I'm walking out and there's a car kind of next to me, but nobody was around it. So I'm backing up to leave and perfectly, like just that blind spot. It wasn't caught in my camera.
Oh no. Oh no.
And finally I get a glimpse in my camera. I'm like, dang, that looks like John Merrill. Sure enough, it was John Merrill. I'm sorry. I almost ran over you.
If he's watching.
Yeah. And
Apologies.
of course he was in a suit. That's maybe what gave it away. But yeah, I'm sorry. I literally almost took out John Merrill.
Sure. Comfy.
Yeah, we get a text
Hi.
like 9:35. I almost just ran over John Merrill.
I don't know how my car has like 6 cameras and I have eyeballs, but I guess I don't use them anymore.
Well, but there's that horrible blind spot, and we've all been there, where you look and you're like, oh, the Lord just saved me from running over somebody.
Thank goodness he's tall.
Yeah. Can't miss him.
Do we want to get to Yammer before the end of the segment, or do you want to get to Yammer on the other side?
Let's do it on the other side.
Okay.
Let's take a break.
Did y'all see my new tote bag too?
Yeah. We love your tote bag.
That's what I brought
Can
my
I get
lunch
one?
in. You want me to order? There's another one that's really cute that has Charlie in bed.
Is it
reading a
Shein?
book.
Is it on Shein?
Mhm.
No, it's on Amazon.
I want it.
Yeah, I'll order you one. I'll have party Charlie and you get bedtime Charlie.
Okay. I'll take bedtime Charlie.
I wish it had
Thank you.
a eye mask on. That would be, but he's reading, so you can't read with an eye mask.
That's hilarious.
Is there an AI John Wall in the background?
Wait, I think that's bad.
No,
Is that the devil?
no, this is
That's Longhorn because you got
Longhorn.
one.
Oh,
you
yeah. Oh
got
yeah.
one
Okay.
up.
Okay.
This is like Nixon. This is I love you. Yeah. And that's you're at a metal concert.
Okay, y'all. We'll be back with Yammer and the montage and
Word of the day.
Muslim and the word of the day and abs after this.
Are thrilled to be joined by a new friend, Alexander Duncan, who is getting it done in Texas. He was born in California, went into law enforcement, then moved to Texas, ran for Senate against John Cornyn. You know that name. And now is on a mission to take down the left with particular interest in the Muslim takeover of America. So much so that the Pakistani government is after him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the right side, Alexander Duncan.
Thank you for having me. I love the introduction.
Hey, we're so happy to have you. Thankful for what you're doing. And basically, could you just tell our audience, for those who don't know you yet, what your story is, and then why are you willing to put your life on the line for the cause?
Yeah, so like you said, I was born and raised in Southern California, and my dad was a police officer for 34 years. I followed in his footsteps after college, and I did that for just over 13 years. And then I got hurt on the job and had to find a new career after that. And it was perfect timing because my wife and I had a 2 and a 3-year-old, and we're like, we're not raising them out here. Like this is the worst possible place to raise children. So we both decided, like, let's move to Texas. Hey, they still value God, family, freedom. This has got to be the right place. But shortly after moving over here, you see the Islamic takeover is in full swing. I'm like, how is no one speaking out on this? Like, this is very alarming. So then I just started speaking out on it. And Cornyn, obviously he was a disgrace. I'm like, is anyone going to challenge this guy? And this is before Paxton had stepped up. And I'm like, well, who cares? Like, I'm going to throw my name out there and at least bring light to issues that need to be brought up. And hopefully someone like a Paxton could step up that has the ability to beat Cornyn and use this platform I have, brought light to and do something with it. And we're kind of seeing that. I'm not too optimistic because, our politicians have just failed us over and over again. But at least people are talking about it now.
I'm so curious. Is Texas what it seems to be and becoming to us from the outside? From when you got there to now, is it a substantial difference in the makeup and the trajectory of the state of Texas?
There's a substantial difference in terms of demographics, what we're seeing. Okay. It's the fastest growing state for new mosques, and especially more northeast Texas is where we're seeing the heavy population of Muslims, of Indians with the H-1B visa, issues going on. So that whole demographic out there has changed quite a lot. We're seeing a lot of people now migrating more west to the more rural cities because they're trying to get away from that. Luckily, we still have freedom here. It's probably the freest state in America, but it's under attack by the left. It's under attack by Islam. So there's a lot of work to be done. And I mean, you talk to any of these like subject matter experts in Islam, they're like, yeah, it's well known that Texas is the #1 target because they know if they take Texas, America goes with it.
Mm. So why, you mentioned John Cornyn and others. We're witnessing this here in Alabama as well. But why won't our politicians be honest about the threat of Islam? Do you think they don't know? Or do you think there's a fear when you're dealing with Islam?
I think it's a little bit of both. So like when I started my law enforcement career, I worked in an area that had a large Muslim population, and especially in summers, a lot of them would travel from overseas, from Qatar and Saudi Arabia. And I was always interested by that. And of course, good old California, they sent me to some leadership training one time. And one of the last weeks of this training course was going through every type of DEI woke agenda they have. So they sent us to an LGBT center, a mosque, and all this training you get in law enforcement is, hey, it's the radical and the extreme Muslims that are doing this stuff. So they just tell you on this over and over again. And it's the same thing you hear from a government. No, it's not the majority. It's just the radicals. Well, I got it. I was very interested in this, and I went and got my master's in international relations, and I focused on Middle Eastern affairs. So I started reading the Quran. I reading all their works. I'm like, this isn't radical or extreme. This is just what they believe. And it's out in the open. If you read this stuff, you know what their end game is. So why is our government having such a problem with this? So it's either ignorance, and I could see part of that because we've just been sold a lie for so long. But I think people also fear it because, I don't have a substantial following, but even with what I'm putting out there, the Pakistani government's coming after me for what I said. CARE has come after me. So you have these groups, if you start speaking out heavily against them, they want to do everything they can to silence you, to shut you down. And that's just coming to someone like me that has a small following. So people that really have influence, they're going to do everything they can to shut them down. And we're starting to see like the Sharia free caucus and stuff come up. And it's great that more people are seeing this as an issue. But at the end of the day, Sharia is just a symptom of Islam. We're trying to address a symptom of the root cause, which is Islam.
Yeah.
And it's not going to do anything. They're not operating Sharia courts out in the open in America. They're going to still, adjudicate these cases inside mosques, which they're doing right now. It's just like any law you put on the books, criminals are going to violate it. You could say, hey, we ban Sharia in America. Well, that's great. But unless you're going to go out and enforce this, they're going to.
Hello and welcome back. Sorry, I was still sharing some reflections with Sinclair about the weekend.
I hope you took good notes.
I was very proud. I was proud of my family, but I was really proud of my husband too. He did real well. All right, you guys. Here's what we have. We have the word of the day. We have Yammer. We have the montage. We have Muslim Minute. And we'll be rotating through all of it between now and 12 o'clock. So buckle up. We have a great day for you. And also, please don't forget to text us. I told several people this weekend, text us. Tell us your thoughts because we love hearing them. Your ideas are genius. And now it's time for you to compete over whether or not, Allison, did you look at the word of the day?
I did not.
Okay, good.
I would tell you.
Okay.
You know what else we didn't do, though?
What?
We didn't give away the hat. And I have guilt. It keeps me up at night. Because
I thought-
we said we were going to give away a hat for the person that used kludge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we still have the people.
You have the list, right?
There's OnlyFans and
Chris from Stereo.
K-Town.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one other.
Oh, I saw my first hop-in.
You saw a hop-in?
I saw a hop-in.
Did you get an icy?
No, but I was like, oh, there's a hop-in.
Dang it.
I was tired,
Say
and we
Allison
were in
says, "What's
Knoxville
up?"
heading into, the
Ian from
smokes.
Hartselle. I wrote it down.
Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
I-
I just had to tell you, I was so excited.
Wonder if they still carry candy cigarettes.
They probably do.
So that's not hard to do. I can just
We
get
can do
their
it.
addresses on the text line, not public.
We didn't pick a winner.
Oh, well, I thought all three of them get one.
Do we have 3, or do I need to order some?
This is a competition, people.
Well, then what are they going to
It's
do
not
now?
a participation trophy for everyone. Well, we got to go back and read the kludge
Okay.
Didn't pick a winner.
and pick a wiener.
Pick a
Okay. All right. And all right. And then what
But-
we're going to do is while in the break, we're going to reread, and then each of us is going to mark down on our secret ballot and then hold it up to each
Oh.
other. And then we'll know how we really feel.
Okay.
All right.
I
That's
like
good.
this. I
That's
like
good.
this.
Well, I
That's
think
fun.
Okay.
once in future is disqualified because he tried to use it, but he thought the word was clergy, like clergy. He didn't use the right word.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm
we
sorry,
appreciate the participation, but I think it's between Ian and
Chris.
Chris. And I can go back and find Ian's right now.
Somebody's making rules.
I think you are making up Democrat rules and sometimes Republican rules.
Okay, fine.
So
We're
we're
doing the
equal
break.
opportunity offenders here on this show.
I gotta fix this. Y'all keep.
What are you doing?
Okay. Are we ready for word of the day?
Oh, wait.
Well,
You're not getting those for us to have?
yeah, we need those.
All
Cheers. Okay.
right. You ready?
Yep.
It is time for word of the day.
Three, two, one.
Guys, this is a word you'll know. This is a word you've used. And this is what we do on the show on a daily basis. And this word. We blank disaster. If you'll listen, we blank disaster here.
We either mitigate it,
You got it. That's the word of the day.
Wow.
shut the front door.
No way.
Sinclair. I didn't even have to say Allison.
Allison. She looked.
I did not.
She didn't look.
I will always tell y'all when I cheat.
I mean, it has
Holy
to.
cow!
You
we
got it.
mitigate disaster.
We mitigate disaster. It has to do with something I wrote last week for the newsletter, or week before last, because I didn't send it out last week. And it encapsulate. And I was thinking about that going into this segment. We mitigate disaster if we'll listen. That's why we're here. is to mitigate disaster. Am I right?
That's so right. And I just want to say, someday, y'all in lots of spheres of influence will listen to us.
I know
We're
we
trying
just
to
the
help
little
you
ladies.
save yourselves. But yeah, I mean, they don't really want to listen. What do we really know?
I mean, we're just the women. We're the women with those husbands. And those women with the husbands can't possibly have 2 pennies to rub together in their brainicles to make any sense. And so that's why they're here and they don't know nothing. I'm here to tell you. It's fine. Ignore us. But you know who doesn't ignore us? Our husbands. And so if they don't ignore us, because they say the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing, and he trusts her, the heart of a husband trusts in her, she's worth more than rubies. And if our husbands say that about us, maybe I just would consider not ignoring some advice we give from time to time. I admit that lovingly and with humility.
Humility. Yeah, I don't get it because, I mean, I'm trying to help me help you. But y'all want to sit and say, oh, little girl, you don't know what you're talking about.
Now, just silly women.
Anywho.
It's all right, but mitigate disaster. That's what we're doing our best to do. Mitigate disaster.
Wow.
Like that was boom.
Yeah, I feel really good about myself right now. Let's
You
just
should.
keep it going.
You should.
Yeah, let's keep it
Okay. All right. JP,
Y'all should know this Gen Z word of the day.
I'm not sure I know anything
I'm
anymore.
pretty sure both of y'all used this before.
Okay.
It means gossip, juicy news, or personal information. This is a Gen Z female term.
Tea.
Okay, good. I didn't know that word.
You spill the sweet tea.
Spill the tea.
That's right.
It's what we do here.
That's right.
That is a female Gen Z.
You don't use tea? What
At all?
do you say?
I don't know, not tea.
If you need somebody to tell you the gossip, what do you say?
Give me
The deets?
give me the scoop.
Scoop. Okay,
What's
because
the
that's more manly than tea.
Or what's up? I go, all right, what's up? What's going on?
Okay. That's
What's
fair.
going on?
You
That's
rub
what-
your face?
sometimes. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, I gotta prepare myself. Like, okay, hold on. Okay.
That's so you.
That
Yeah.
is.
That is very much you.
By the way, I still do the
You do.
and I don't know why I do it.
It's really cute. It's like like fetal JP, little baby.
And every time I
Aw.
do that, Ella goes, "Oh, he's a baby." And I'm like, sorry.
Look, normal people do this.
I know. I didn't know that until you said it. I
Like,
just
wait,
always
you
do that.
literally rub your eyes like
Yeah.
that?
Like literally.
No,
yeah.
abs, not just like that, with both at the same time.
Windshield wipering your eyes?
Yeah.
How have you never noticed
I've
that?
done this on the show before. We're
Yeah.
like,
Well, I've seen you do it, but I thought it was just for the drama of the show.
no, that's like actually, I actually do
JP, we got to work on that.
that.
With love. I say that with love. Everything I'm saying today, I say in love.
Look, pre-wedding abs is not left yet, even though it's post-wedding.
It's true.
Kind of like her.
I'm tired. It's okay.
She didn't have the energy to have a filter.
I don't have the energy to have a filter. I'd like to.
Well, a lot happened while you were gone in the news.
What happened?
Should we do some news?
We should do some yammer.
We
Okay.
may need to yammer.
It's time for yammer.
Your whistlers.
That wasn't very good, though.
That
Let's
was
do
good.
it again.
That was good.
Hold on. Yammer.
It's good. There you go.
It's good.
You got your lungs going.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to go first?
You
Because I
can.
saw it pulled up.
You can.
This is from Yellowhammer. Yaffe wrote this. State Senator Gam Savan.
Games of
Sam Gavan on legalizing gambling. Why don't we just enforce the laws we have on the books? Common sense, logical thinking. We have things already that restrict and regulate gambling, but we need to make new laws so that we can legalize it all. That's all this is. This is ridiculous. He said I mean, there are certain, this was on Dale Jackson's show. There's certainly people that want to point out all the different things and say, well, golly, we got to broaden gambling to control gambling. Well, why don't we just enforce the laws we have on the books? I mean, and that there's a way we can do that. There's ways we could come up with a task force of theirs, in funding it and whatnot. But that's not ever part of the equation. It's always no. We got to expand gambling. Okay, this isn't an interview, so
It's actual word for word.
yeah, it's kind of hard to read, but you get it. We have laws on the book to regulate gambling, to shut down illegal gambling, to regulate what's happening with Kalshi. And I just don't understand how predictive gambling, whatever you call it, predictive
markets.
Predictive markets. Okay, it's a thing. But why does that mean we need to put 10 casinos in the state?
It doesn't.
It's a non sequitur.
Doesn't. That was good. That was
Very
good.
Man, you're smart.
I would really not to segregate, not like to segregate that. That's all I got from Gam Savan.
So my story is, I am going to find it again, but it's an interesting story because it talks about, I'm honestly looking for who wrote it. All right. Trent Baker wrote this story. And it is because Eric Mackey, on an appearance on Alabama Public Television, the Capital Journal, talked about the importance of AI in schools. But what he said was interesting to me, because he said the kids need to learn how to use AI because it's here. I understand that. But he talked about an ethical use of AI. And that's what I found interesting, because we don't have any sort of moral foundation in our schools anymore, not with SEL, CRT, and the like, DEI. It's gone. Classrooms have become learning laboratories for advocacy in too many cases, not all, but too many cases. And I thought, this is the same thing I thought when Will was in 5th grade at the intermediate school for a year. And it talked about the character traits and the character values. And I thought, now, by what standard are you saying that this is a good character and you should do this? If there's no God, how are you telling them you need to have character? And again, we're saying, okay, we'll use AI, but be ethical. But by what standard? Because you haven't allowed a biblical standard. You don't want any kind of moral foundation. You just want people to be able to say, use it ethically. But there's no definition that goes along with it. And I thought, well, that's just so interesting. We're constantly in a moral dilemma. And I wonder what side they'll choose. I don't disagree. I think it needs to be used ethically, but how? How are you going to do that when you don't allow parents to really read textbooks? You don't really want any input. You keep putting the same people on school boards. Most of them are appointed. Some are elected. And now you're saying, let's do this. Let's be ethical about it. All right. How? It really got me bothered.
That's good.
Yeah, no, that is good, because everything seems to be so subjective. But do you think because of God's common grace, I mean, every heart, I don't care if you're an atheist, a Satanist, an Islamic, deep down, they all know, because they are made in the image of God, right and wrong.
You do know right and wrong, but the kids who are thinkers are going to say, yeah, but by what standard? Whose standard of right and wrong? Whose standard of ethics are we going to use? I 100% agree with you. We are made in the image of God. There is common grace, but we're not teaching any of that in schools anymore.
Yeah. So what do you think they come up with? Is it like, hey, you can create photos on AI of your friends that they don't approve, but just be sure and tell them about it first before you post it? I mean, like, is that I think you're right. I don't know whose standards, but we've got to do something. I don't disagree with what he's saying. But again, whether it's flock cameras or data centers or whatever it is, these issues are coming, but dang it, if we don't handle them correctly, we're really going to be in a world of hurt.
Well, at the very least, it should be pro-human. And you can expand on that to be pro-American, which the American the whole idea of Americanism comes from the Bible. So they're kind of intertwined, but at the very least pro-human, because if you're teaching the kids how to use AI, then you're kind of teaching the kids how to work themselves out of a job. Because I mean, I don't know the specifics of what they'll be teaching. I mean, they could use it to have AI help them with their business or help them with whatever. But at the very least, I think what we could agree on is that humans need to be in the driver's seat of AI from that. And it could be the reasoning of wrangle it in and we be in the driver's seat and we can control AI because we understand AI. That could be it. Or it could be, completely different of we're going to teach our kids out of a job and to where AI just becomes their entire brain pretty much. And they rely on AI too much. But at the very least, have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness be the driver of it. And then obviously that, like I said, is intertwined with the Bible and those morals. But I think it shouldn't be a debate that at the very least pro-human and pro-student for their future.
Amen.
What is, oh God, this is such a good, I know we're just in Yammer, so we got to keep going, but I'm curious what we would say are ethical uses of AI.
That's a great question.
We probably should do a plunge on this on Thursday. You want to?
Yeah, that'll give me time to think about it.
Me too. Let's do it. Okay,
Sure.
We're declaring Thursday is AI, the ethical use. What does that mean? Share your thoughts. We'll have a discussion. Second hour. Okay.
All right, I'll do my story and then we can get to a montage. This doesn't, well, I'll just say the story. Jim Ziegler wrote this at Yellowhammer. This was at the Republican Party event this weekend, or I guess on Saturday. The ALGOP unanimously adds plank to platform supporting closed primaries party registration. The platform of the Alabama Republican Party now contains a plank supporting closed primaries and party registration. Came Saturday in a meeting of the state Republican Executive Committee. And this is unanimous, like I said. It's, I guess we can talk about what it means. It's pretty symbolic. But this essentially, what I gather is the Republican Party saying we support the legislature closing primaries, pretty much. I don't know if it's going to cause anything to happen, but this was unanimously decided this weekend by the Republican Party.
So they did a voice vote. When you go in, they give you these little clickers and you normally use the clickers to vote, but they did a voice vote. Didn't hear any nays. I think it stinks because historically the legislature laughs at the Republican Party and the platform. They don't care. They don't listen. I've never seen evidence of that. Now, the legislators that are on the state executive committee, which actually I kind of have an issue with.
Yeah.
Is that, do y'all see?
I agree.
I agree
Y'all
with
think that's weird?
I think it's weird because
I mean, the chairman, Scott, is a member of the House. Clearly, everybody's okay with it. And I can kind of see the benefit in that if you're part of the party, you can go back to the legislature and enact and try and enact what you're representing on the party, like closed primaries. But to me, I'm like, you already have your seat at the table. If that's supposed to be the voice of the people, let that be the voice of the people. Go do your thing in your chamber or whatever. But anyway, nobody asked me. But historically, it's kind of a joke, which is unfortunate because our legislators are there to listen to the people. And those people in the state executive committee represent their counties and their people. But it gets ignored. But I think the fact that it was universal or unanimous and the Democrats have done all the work really for us because they showed their hand. It will be really interesting to see what the legislature does. I don't know. You still have representatives that are speaking out against it.
I'm sorry.
Two did last week. Can't remember. Andy Witt. Oh, wait. I probably shouldn't say that because I'm not 100% sure.
So I think the good thing about legislators being on the state executive committee meeting is if they are willing to take the lead and take what is voted upon, discussed, and say, we do need to take this seriously. I know Scott is moving the party in that direction, but you're right. That's what I thought all those years ago is what are we even doing here? They never take our suggestions. And Terry Latham was my chairwoman at the time. This is a while back. And so if they're willing to say, no, we're going to spearhead what we discuss here and really lead us, I'm for it. But that hasn't happened yet.
maybe behind closed doors it does. Maybe I'm not giving enough credit. I just think it's kind of like consultants. You know, you have consultants and campaign managers that sit on the steering committee of the state executive committee, and that is a huge conflict of interest where you vote on and you have a say. Now they recuse themselves, but what do they tell the other people that do stay on to have a vote? But you're making votes on candidates that can stay on the ballot or be removed from the ballot, and you're running campaigns. So you have a vested interest on who gets access and who doesn't. It's only human nature that your selfish motivations would be I mean, there are some people that can keep them separate, but that's a very small few. So there are some issues there. But regarding closed primaries, what we're doing now isn't working. And I think, you know, like we've said, there's issues with it. But people will say, well, I mean, oh, you're disenfranchising voters. And what about the independents that want to make a choice and they want to just vote for who they want to vote for, but not vote for a party? That's fine. You can stay independent. But that's like saying, let's see, what's a club? What's a club that's exclusive?
Kind of like a Augusta National.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Augusta National. That's like saying you're not part of the club. You're not on the board. You don't have a vote at Augusta, but you'd really like to. So you want to come in every now and then and make some. No, you like, if you don't want to be part of the club, that's fine. But the club decides the rules, not the people that decide to come in and out. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be very interested to see what they do with it in session, but I think when I initially saw that headline, I was like, oh, was it just that easy the whole time? Well, no, it's symbolic. But at the very least, that is the party putting weight on the legislature. Again, whether they do anything or they just go or not. Yeah. But at least the Republican Party made clear unanimously that's where they stand. So,
and you brought up a good point. You said, I feel like the party should run the election. Well, in some ways, no, what did you say?
So part of me feels like the party should be able to determine how their primaries operate.
Okay, which is true, but the state pays for it. Yep. So that's why they have their little greasy hands in all of it.
Here's what I can say, though, as right now, I feel great about the direction of the party under Scott Stadthagen's leadership. John Wall did an amazing job, and it's been handed off. Though they are different men, the party is headed in the right direction. And for that, I think I'm very grateful. So maybe your meetings will become fun.
That's my hope.
And interesting.
That's my hope. I think Scott is fun. He's got a big personality. And I think this dinner showed it. He makes good t-shirts too. The fun t-shirts from did y'all see him that they had when we went to the crawfish boil?
No.
You didn't see? They look like old school fraternity and sorority. I wanted to buy one, but then the rain came and
yes.
Right in front of the
Can we get some?
Yeah, I bet we.
Okay.
I'll send a text.
I'd like some.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay,
but
well, I pushed it to 11. If we want to do the montage and briefly start, or if we just want to go to break now.
All last week, by the way, we didn't stick to one break.
We haven't stuck to a break in like a month, which is great.
You know,
is that good though?
Oh no, because we can do what we want. But
do what I want.
Yeah. We're not bound by the FCC.
Why don't we do the montage and then go to break and then discuss after?
Bet.
You know, like stringing people along.
Radio theater.
Just don't leave.
Ready?
Michael Hughes.
We have hundreds of thousands of people. In fact, we're real close to 900,000 individuals that have been naturalized in the last 12 months. There's a legal system to go through.
Well, we see Cheryl Reed wearing a shirt today in support of trans kids. Trans kids belong on the shirt. This in the aftermath of Sophie Cunningham's recent comments.
Your job is telling the truth to the American people.
I see my job as telling the truth, and the truth is that there is study after study after study. It's one of the most studied things out there in science,
repeat
and it is
like a parrot.
And finally, new rule, Donald Trump has told 1 trillion lies, but when he says the Democratic Socialists of America are actually communist, that's not one of them. And it's not hard to prove it, just by quoting the DSA and their candidates.
Today, some estimates indicate that the official figure is far too low. There could be perhaps 80 to 100,000 migrants who've crossed into Spanish territory. And this is a vision of America's future if the socialists, the communists take power in the United States in 2029.
It's really good, JP.
I think
Are you about to cry?
me.
You said why? Thank
Oh no, my my throat was just.
That's really, really good. And my brain is spinning. Okay. That's good. So we're going to talk about
What are we talking about first?
Mark Wayne Mullins
Let's tease it.
first, and then perhaps we'll get into it about Cheryl Reeve and her ridiculous t-shirt and the funny things I've seen back and forth online, like Clay Travis offering $10 million for the Lynx to play an NBA team.
Stop.
We'll discuss Dana Bash,
Stop.
Bill Maher, and then Spain. We'll just go in order. But this is a banger, JP. This is a banger. It's a lot to talk about. Where are you going? You can go get your coffee, hop out of your car, hop right back in.
Where do we get tickets? We're going.
Oh, we're going.
This
No, we're
is
going.
awesome. This is awesome. We'll be back.
Adjudicate these cases in mosques still. So it does nothing. It's all political theater. We need a politician to step up and that will say, hey, Islam has religious components, yes, but overall, this is a political ideology that's a threat to America. We need to strip them of their religious status and make them make a choice if they're here.
That actually was my next question, was if it was a religion or a political movement or both, because here in Alabama, we can talk to whether it's a senator, a state level representative, an attorney general. They all claim, well, there's only so much we can do, Allison, the First Amendment, the First Amendment.
Right.
And that is going to be our downfall. So my question to you, I know you've done a ton of research on this. Legally, what frameworks can we use to restructure, to reframe this conversation? Because the way the First Amendment, and if it does have religious status right now, Islam, it's not going to hold up in a court. How do we fight this?
I mean, first off, you just need someone that has, the boldness to go forward and put legislation forward saying, hey, we're going to strip this. Let it start working its way up in the courts, because we need to get back to the original intent of the Constitution. This First Amendment, religion defined back then was freedom of denomination. It wasn't this open-ended, hey, whatever religion you want to bring into America, bring it. It was more, hey, we don't want a state-imposed church on us. There's multiple denominations of Christianity. Feel free to practice it. It wasn't, let's open it up to Islam, and there's more than enough evidence to say they are not operating solely as a religion. That's only a portion of their book. If there is Islamic states, Islamic governments in this world, and there's over 55 of them now, that is more than enough evidence to say, well, yeah, they have a religious aspect, but they're more of a governing body that subjects their people to Sharia. So for us to say, well, no, they could just, it's a scapegoat, like let them do whatever they want. It's ridiculous to me.
So can we come at it from an angle of they are trying to start a revolution and overturn the American government and instill their own government? Would you think that would work?
Absolutely. I mean, you could just go back to the Muslim Brotherhood. I think it was in 91 that they retrieved this internal memo, and it lays out their whole plan for America.
Is that the project?
Yes. And they're going to vote themselves into office. And we're seeing it all over now, especially this last election cycle. CARE was boasting how 50% of the candidates they put up got into office. And that's scary. They're here for the, I always say they're very smart, very calculated, and they start at the local level, which we need to be doing. We need to get back to being involved in local politics and running for school boards, running for city councils, running for state, rep positions, because that's what they are doing. And they're going to eventually outnumber us. And that's how they take control. They don't need to come and wage war against us. Just look at the history of Islam. The history is a conquering ideology. They've conquered numerous Christian nations in the past. And guess what? They have it easier here. They don't need to come and wage war. They could do it by the ballot. And that's their whole thing. Ballots, not bullets. And we're seeing it.
So let's pivot, because there's another issue that we would love your expertise on, and that is the flock cameras.
Oh, yes.
And Allison just discovered that literally across the street from our studio is a flock camera. Could you explain what this is? Like, we're 5 years old.
Yeah. So simply put, I actually worked with the flock system when I was in law enforcement. So I know very well how it works. But essentially, it started out as just, they call them ALPRs, automated license plate readers. So every time your car would pass one of these cameras, it would record your license plate, and it would go through a system. And if law enforcement had entered that plate being associated with a crime, a missing person, etc., it would give you an alert saying, hey, this car just hit on this camera. It's wanted in this crime. This is the last direction it took. And before, it was kind of difficult because you only maybe had 3 cameras in your city. So it would hit on this camera, and then it was, find like, where's Waldo, trying to go now seek this thing out. But now there is so many of these cameras that in real time, they are tracking the movement of these cars. And then they have drones. So they're putting drones up following these cars. And if you took it from Flock, what they're going to sell you is, hey, it's great for law enforcement. We're catching criminals. Yes, that sounds great, but it's recording every single person's license plate that passes this. So you could go into their website as a law enforcement officer, or even now come to find out private companies are purchasing or leasing these cameras from Flock and putting them in parking lots of Home Depots and Lowe's. Mosques are leasing these out, which is very concerning, why a mosque needs to start recording license plates that are coming near it. But you could enter any license plate in their website, and it will show you across America wherever that license plate has hit. And, many people go, well, I have nothing to hide. Well, that's great. That's great. You have nothing to hide right now. But what happens when laws change, when policies change, when they want to start coming after Christians or gun owners? Well, guess what? They're going to use these systems, and they're going to track exactly where you go and where you are in real time. And that's terrifying.
Who has access to these cameras and this information? Can we, somebody told me that I can't even FOIA and get access to the data that they have tracked on my car and my.
That's such an uncomfortable conversation when you have to put it on the family group chat. Yeah, I just got I said, hey, what's the Amazon login? He goes, enjoy it for a little longer. It's getting canceled. I'm not a fan. Stop. Like, are you serious right now? I can't have it because of what happened with another child years ago. So
what happened?
Can somebody have a top? Emmy, I'm going to have to start using yours again. I'll tell you.
Okay.
But I'm glad we're not the only ones that also get told, turn the air down.
Oh.
It cost X amount of dollars.
Oh, the air bill this month. I get why we turn the air down. But my thing is, I like the fresh air. So I'll open the doors.
And that costs the air conditioner to work even harder.
I usually will turn it, off, but I don't think that's good either, because then it has to recool.
And then that's how squirrels get in Allison's house.
That's how it works.
Because I saw your dogs chasing a squirrel almost every day in your little back patio.
That's how it be happening. But anyway, I get it. So yes, Amazon, we had a large charge on our credit card, and Jared sends out the family group chat like, who did this? Was this you? Was this? And then everybody starts getting accused. And then one child just popped up and said, it was me.
I just want to know what he got.
I thought I was using my debit card. Sure you did. Sure you did.
As you typed in, says Jared Sinclair.
I have a feeling it has to do with his bass fishing boat. I bet. It's probably a new trolling motor.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Well, I mean, at least that's a wholesome hobby.
Yeah, it could be worse. Could be meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that's what they called meth nowadays. A new bass trolley boat. Give me the new trolley boat, please.
With the side of fentanyl.
Yeah.
I love it. Anywho, glad we're not the only one.
No.
Okay, so numero uno. I've already seen Sinclair getting cranked about this. But did anybody else, when this man said this, go, what?
Let's replay the beginning of the clip for those who may have missed the montage to know what we're talking. This is Mark Wayne Mullen, new DHS secretary.
Possible? No. Do you really need immigration reform? Yes, you do. But can we work with the system we have? Yes. We have naturalization ceremonies every single day in the United States that is, federal government's open. We have hundreds of thousands of people. In fact, we're real close to 900,000 individuals that have been naturalized in the last 12 months.
You missed the part though, and I don't know if you can see it where if you can find it, he talks about how, look, you may have been here for 25 years illegally. And as long as you're going through the process now and you've started the process now, I can help you. But if you haven't, there's nothing I can do for you.
What?
I have issues that, and people came at me on Twitter because I'm like, this is called amnesty and we are not for it. And in 2026, we should not be for it because our country is dying because of it. And somebody came back and was like, that's called legal immigration. This is the analogy I'll use. You go to a bank, you break the window, you go in, you steal the cash, you take off, you get caught. And then the police come back and say, you know what? Actually, just go back out and walk up and say, hey, can I get this money? And we'll hand it to you. That'll make it better. That's dumb. You still broke in and stole the money and you're not holding them accountable just because you've been here for 25 years illegally, sucked all of our resources dry and added to our debt, added to our infrastructure, the heaviness of it. Now we're going to say, look, hey, just go through the process. Go start filling out the paperwork, not leave and come back in the right way. This is amnesty. And everybody's saying, but it's legal. It's the way the system is. I don't give a rip. We need to shut that down. He is weaker. I'll take Kristi Noem back, and I don't like Kristi.
I cannot believe you just said that.
The cricket killer, I'm not a fan.
But you're right. It's just enabling. Any good counselor knows what he just said was a bunch of gobbledygook. He's an enabler. Our government is enabling wrong. You can't get out of this problem by acting that way, by saying what he said, by blessing what is wrong. I was like, you big, fat enabler.
Well, this is the other part. Here's a quote. He said, if we're looking to grow our economy, we need more permanent solutions on work visas for foreigners, because this narrative that it steals American jobs is true in some industries. It's not true for all industries. It is America. We want to take care of Americans first. It's our economy. It's our homeland. But there's a way to utilize labor where we're not having the participation rate we need to, and we can plug those holes.
Could we examine that statement that we are not having the labor participation we'd like? Was that the exact sentence?
Yes, he said there's a way to utilize labor where we're not having the participation rate we need to. We can plug those holes.
Uh-huh. And why are we having a labor participation issue?
Because those holes are not open.
That's cute.
I've said this so many times. I don't buy the Americans won't do certain jobs. I don't buy that. Now, maybe very fringe specific, ultra specific, jobs, maybe, but for the most part, no. And I always bring up this example. I can't remember which plant it was. You always have to remind me. What was the plant in Alabama where there was a raid of illegal labor, illegal aliens in Alabama?
That
was
one.
it the car plant?
It was in Montgomery, just outside of Montgomery.
The next day they had to have a job fair, and it was Americans with a block or a line around the block to go and work. Like, Americans will do the job that illegals are doing now. it is gaslighting of we need our cheap foreign labor, and it's the big agriculture, it's the hotel, the big hotels, it's big tech, Silicon Valley with the H-1Bs and such, which unfortunately those have kind of merged into the Trump administration with the Peter Thiels and the others. They don't want to lose their cheap foreign labor. And with the messaging on deportations, well, first of all, let me just say the border is secure, which is a big win. However, that's not enough because of the 10 million illegal aliens that came in under Biden and taking American jobs. It's not enough just to seal the border. That's a great start, but the messaging quickly shifted from all illegals to criminal illegals to, okay, well, illegals, just do it the right way and you can stay. It's amazing to me how that shift has happened, but I think it's mostly economy related.
Do they honestly think the people that they're enabling to stay and say, like Allison, just pretend like you're already working on your paperwork and like your sponsor? Do you think that when he says things like there are real close to 900,000 individuals that have naturalized in the last 12 months, there's a legal system to go through, ... And we really hope you'll vote for us in the midterms. Is that what also should be the tail that wags this dog?
Yep.
That's good. Yep. So it's the labor industry, the housing, the food industry, and that. But I don't think that's going to work, because then what if you're truly representing the Republican people, which in this case you're really not. But if you want to keep pretending like you are, you have to keep talking about that we're going to crack down on fraud in Minnesota, and we're going to crack down on fraud, and we're going to crack down on the system that then supports these people in so many ways with their jobs, their housing, their whatever, not paying taxes it is. And so I think you lose them. You might get them in the country and they might think, well, that was pretty cool. Thanks for the tip, Mark Wayne Mullen. But then if you stay on messaging, they're not going to like what you have to say.
Yes.
Yeah. I understand the legal immigration route. Not now. Our country has been invaded. Like, we have invaders within the gates currently. We can't even, sure, there's a world where we can reform our immigration system and we can have it the right way, very, very restricted and, done right. We can't even cross that bridge until we get the 10 million invaders out. That's not, like, our country has been changed dramatically. So I don't think Mark Wayne Mullen or other members of the administration quite realize. They may say they do, but they don't quite realize the gravity of what has happened with the amount of people that came in. Like, Mission 1 Mayday, get everybody out, and then we can have a conversation about reforming our immigration system for the economy, for whatever. But we can't even have that conversation while they're still here. But let's just turn a new page. Y'all are good. We're starting. No, look back to what Reagan did with his mass amnesty. Biggest mistake he ever made. And that is the Republican Party's beacon of, everything, which I have some issues with Ronald Reagan, but that was his biggest mistake, was that. So no, that's not the answer. But again, I don't know what it is, whether it's people being bought off or what, but until we get the 10 million illegals out, we're not even having a legal immigration conversation. We can't.
And I know that this dovetails, and we'll get to this rolling through the montage about what happened in Spain. But I do find it ironic that they saw that there was immediate trouble, and he's a socialist and he's anti-American, but immediately the people are like, we don't want this, and they're doing something about it.
Wait. Who are you talking about?
Spain over the weekend with the Moroccans. I was listening to a news report this morning on the way in. It's very interesting what's happened, and it happened quickly versus here. And we have somebody who should be a Republican who is gaslighting us into pretending that we don't see that this is about the midterms, pretending that we don't know that the other part with immigration is not being able to find housing, not just about jobs, but we can't find housing because they've taken the housing too. And we're expected to just go, oh, it's all right. Mark Wayne Mullins said it, so it's okay. We have a naturalization process. It's okay. and it's really not okay. We're getting crushed. These people, SMH.
Gen Z.
That's good, Abs.
It's coffee.
Well, I don't know if we want to do it in the next segment or not, but the Sophie Cunningham story, I feel like is very much worth a discussion.
Okay. Yes, it is, if it's okay. And I have to make it even, I must say that it wasn't an NBA team that Clay Travis offered. This is funny. This is even funnier. Important announcement. This is from an hour ago. I'm upping my offer. $10 million for a head-to-head basketball game between the defending WNBA champion Las Vegas Aces with the Cheryl Reeve coach wearing the trans t-shirt nonsense and a boys high school state title team of Clay Travis's choice.
That's good.
If the Aces beat my team, I will give them $10 million.
That's a big paycheck. That's probably, if you doll it out across the league, that's probably more than they make a season.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because the men aren't helping subsidize you at all, women. Oh, no. So thoughts, everybody.
Well, so for those who weren't paying attention to this story, Sophie Cunningham blew up because there was an ESPN sort of like player profile thing they did on her. And part of it was she said that she thinks that men should not be in women's sports and that she'll always speak out for the young women to be protected from men who are stronger. And, it's just dangerous for them. And massive outrage has blown up in the WNBA world over it. There were girls who were part of, I don't know the exact organization, XXXY, and they sat courtside with, a sign that said they supported Sophie, and the co-owner of the team, whatever the Seattle team is, said they're effing insane. And I mean, these are teenage girls. And there's just been massive protests and rallies outside of games that Sophie Cunningham goes to being pro-trans. And then yesterday, the Minnesota coach who was playing Sophie's team wore a shirt that said trans kids belong. And ESPN actually said, you should go and listen to her very thoughtful comments about why trans kids should belong. And then also the Indiana Fever coach, this wasn't part of the montage, but I'll play this. This is Sophie Cunningham's coach. She was asked about her thoughts on Sophie Cunningham's comments and trans kids being in women's sports. And she pretty much said, I'm not educated enough on the matter to give a comment.
Stance on men or athletes who test as biological male participating in women's sports. What's your personal stance?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would say that I'm educated enough from a scientific standpoint. I don't ever believe that exclusion is an answer. I just don't.
Oh.
Okay. She's retarded. And she might be gay too.
Oh, yeah. No, she is. She's married to another coach.
Okay.
Okay. So sometimes the only thing we can do is just bathe ourselves in facts. But even then, that's going to be hard because if you've made up your mind and you think this is okay, number one, trans kids don't exist. That doesn't exist. It's not real. Because when you die, they're still going to mark down male or female based on what was on your birth certificate. That's just the way it is. There's still only two sexes you could choose from when you decide to chop your body parts off and mutilate yourself. All right. 1% of the U.S. population identifies as trans. And yet they made it seem as if the entire universe is going trans. An estimated 2.8 million people, about 1.0, like 1% of the population aged 13 and older identify as transgender, according to data. There are 0.8% of the adult population identify as trans. This group is roughly split into thirds. 1/3 trans women, 1/3 trans men, and 1/3 non-binary adults, which that's not even real. Youth, about 724,000 youth aged 13 to 17 identify as trans. That's 3.3% of the youth population.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Read that again.
About 724,000 youth aged 13 to 17, which is 3.3% of the youth population, identify as transgender.
Y'all, that is a problem.
Yeah.
That is a gigantic number.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that is
I just
staggering. Holy cow.
It's staggering, and that we have, based on things you and I have been talking about for 5 years. If you hadn't read either of Abigail Schreier's books, read them. This whole trans agenda is social media driven. We went from 2012 having one trans clinic to having hundreds. We know that in Europe, they've shut them down. And in America, like, we're going to keep going. Kind of like Dana Bash on CNN. Oh, there are hundreds of studies saying that the vaccine was so good for kids. Like 200,000 kids were saved. Okay. But we have this trans situation that is social media driven, primarily TikTok, and then blessed by some adult in their life who, instead of putting the child in a locked and padded room and then getting them all the counseling they need, when if they stick with the child and say, you're not in the wrong body, you're exactly who you should be, you feel weird right now, but we all feel weird. Do you know that by age 18, an overwhelming percentage of them, I believe it's like 80% of them, grow out of those feelings? So we've created a movement based on feelings. But the fact is, that's ruining children's whole lives. And now the NBA is going to try to punish the sane person they have. And they're exalting the insane person. And it is a disaster. When is Caitlin Clark going to start her own league? This is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised, but it's very satisfying to see Sophie Cunningham not back down. But she's doing it in such a great way. She's not being obnoxious. She's not being over the top. She's not shoving in everybody's face. She's standing on a simple fact. And she's even said, I don't know if it was a tweet or a quote at a press conference, but she said, I'm not calling for kids to be demonized, not calling for kids to be excluded. But the bottom line is a fact. Girls need to be protected. And but that is what's causing the massive outrage. And the WNBA is like the last stronghold for the most part in terms of widespread, just liberal woke cesspool of a league of just like 95% of them are just liberal woke to the bitter end of not even in touch with the reality anymore. But it's almost, the truth draws that reaction. Sophie Cunningham is not going every day with a shirt that says, I hate trans people. She's not like, rah, rah, rah. She's just simply said a fact and then let it stand. And that is what's causing the chaos that has ensued. But there's been no backtracking. There's been no, what I meant is this. Oh, no. But like, she stood on what she said and let that comment just speak for itself. And that has been very refreshing to see, because even though there's still pride nights and there's still, little, spurts in other sports, it's pretty fringe and it's in the woke cities. I feel like for the most part, the sports world has come back to reality a little bit, except for the WNBA. And maybe this Sophie Cunningham, situation they could just, burn themselves out and it go away. But I've been very satisfied to see no backtrack. There's been no PR firm that's gotten in Sophie Cunningham's ear and said, you need to take that back. No, she stood on what she said, and y'all can have the reaction you want, but she's not going to backtrack on it. It's been very good to see.
This is just all so stupid. Like, seriously, think about what we're talking about. And across the nation, people are spending time on this. This shouldn't even be a discussion. As y'all were talking, I was thinking, okay, let's put Chris Shaver and Will Shaver. And then I went to Wesley Britt. Then I went to Travis Kelce. All right, let's put them on a basketball team. I don't even know if they can play basketball. Well, I know two of them can. Just the sheer force of their body size and their momentum. I mean, you're going to have girls concussed just playing a normal game. Like, this is dumb.
Like, put them against, my daughter-in-law was a track and field athlete. She is the strongest girl I know.
Yes.
Will Shaver can still destroy her in basketball. She is smart enough not to want to play like men v women. She's like, no, y'all are good. I understand we're different. But I'm thinking of the strong women that I know. Think about Riley Gaines. I know you know her better than we do, but she's very strong and got destroyed, crushed in swimming by a man. And you're right. Guys, this has been around since the beginning of time, by the way. But the people who thought that they would dress men as women, and really it was generally men dressing as women, they were just left to be on the outskirts of society because that's where they were relegated, because that's where they belonged. I'm sorry. That is offensive to some of you, but that's where they belong. And this is such an indicator of how backwards we are, that we've gone,
Yeah. And it's not, I think, well, JP, did you push the break?
Yeah, we're going to go to 11:30.
Okay. But I think it's like Sophie Cunningham saying, I'm not saying we need to go attack the trans kids. I'm not saying we need to ostracize and shame them. And no, they need a hug and they need love and they need help. Okay. But you don't reshape entire societies for those kids. You just don't. I talk about thinking about the Roman Empire. I think about the Roman Empire every day, just like y'all do. Because this is the downfall of it.
Yep.
You get stupid. You start doing all these things. Anything goes. And then you're gone.
Yep. Well, and again, they can play sports, just not with my kids.
Well,
when you think you're...
Do we need a tranny league? Or do you just play in your biological league?
Yeah,
you
your
wear
biological
a dress?
league. Yeah. And I think, like, for example, what we saw with Iman Khalif, the boxer, the male boxer who won gold, and actually was two men in the women's division of that weight class. Well, the other one was from Thailand, I believe. And the whole time he's like, well, I'm intersex. And then it came out that no, you were a male the whole time. And this is your blood test and your blood sample. And the Olympic Committee actually changed its rules to, you now have to, we're going to do blood tests. Your chromosomes have to show that you can be in whichever biological league you're like, that's how we're determining it. So I think that has to be, if that's how we have to do it, then that's how we have to do it, to show biologically you will participate, and where your blood samples show you need to participate. I think that's the answer that it is. But again, like, yeah, you know what? Say, like, if you're the parent of a kid in a league and there's another kid and that on your team or in that league that thinks that they're the other gender, like a guy who thinks he's a girl, it's like, okay, well, that's sad. You can play in your league, but whenever you cross the line and now you got to come and it affects my kids, and no, like, that's the line. You can live in your fantasy, but you're going to play where you're supposed to play, because that not only affects you, that affects me and my kids. So no, that's not going to, there's a line.
Okay, let's flip it. I'm just thinking about the time Connor had to wrestle a girl in 8th grade. Should females be able to wrestle in boys' leagues?
There's some girls that can beat boys in wrestling.
Does that mean they should?
No, I don't think they should.
No, I think that is horrifying and very unloving for the boys and the girls. That's just...
Did Connor win?
Not okay.
Yeah, he won. I mean, we were like, because I mean, they're like, you're 8th grade. It's awkward. You're not supposed to touch girls, and you really shouldn't do some of the moves that help you win a wrestling match on a girl. That's called assault. And so what? Then you set up this, puberty hormonal kid going through having to do this. Well, then what? You're going to crush him if he loses. So we were like, look, she signed up for this. You go take her down. And he did. But it's just awful.
It's so bad.
Measles are back. I don't even know. Are measles a thing?
No.
I don't know.
They're not. We don't have any cases in Alabama.
Bill Maher says that the DSAs are actually communists.
Muslim a minute.
Oh,
yes,
Muslim
please.
minute and Spain. Woo! We'll be back. That only law enforcement has access to this. And then there's the story that Polymarket put out talking about a Georgia police supervisor arrested for allegedly using flock cameras to track her boyfriend's vehicle more than 30 times. Is it just government and law enforcement? And I mean, that's scary. That actually is, I mean, she's probably a stalker. He probably needs to break up with her.
Yeah.
But
It's very
who has
scary.
access to this information?
Well, I mean, they claim law enforcement, but I could tell you from the agency I worked at, it wasn't just law enforcement. It was private security they had contracted out to. It was civilian employees that worked within the city. So you're opening this up to a lot of people. And if private businesses are putting these up too, I'm sure they're giving access to managers or somebody in there, probably restricted access, but access nonetheless to their data they're collecting. And it's a massive surveillance network. And Flock's not the only one. We have, Motorola, I think, was one of the first back in the day to come out with ALPR systems that were attached to police cars. But now you have Axon, who's the leading body cam manufacturer. They have their own ALPR system. And it's just turning into one big surveillance state at this point.
Is there anything we can do to push back?
I mean, I think we're starting to see it. A lot of people are being very vocal at city councils, and that's where it's going to start. You have to start pushing back on your elected officials and say, hey, we don't want this stuff. There's other ways for law enforcement to do their job. They don't need a mass collect all of our data in locations we go. We just don't need that. And, and that just trails into the whole data center issue. It's like, why are we just so comfortable allowing everyone to collect our data? Yeah, we consent to it when we sign up for everything, but it's like, why are we getting so comfortable allowing companies and the government to collect data on us? They claim, oh, you don't have a right to privacy. That's great. The government doesn't have a right to privacy either. If anything, we should know everything going on in our government, but we're shut out. We're the ones shut out.
Mm.
Wow.
Did you see Glenn Jacob? Well, I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. So he put out a statement today talking about, he's the mayor of Knoxville, calling on law enforcement. He's the first one that I've seen that really spoke out and was like, we got to do something about it. So I think you're going to see a huge movement. Hopefully we can put some pressure on our Alabama officials. And I know there's a lot of talk on X, and I think this interview will go well because it's new. It came out of nowhere. And
yeah, it really did.
And I hadn't even paid attention. Do you know how many times I've driven by this flock camera that's been across the street? I mean, every day we leave here and it is just tracking us. Had no clue what it was.
Well, and the really scary thing is with AI now, I mean, Flock, you don't even have to have a license plate. You could put in, hey, this car, because a lot of criminals, they'll take their plates off to go commit a crime. So if they have damage on a certain part of the car or a bumper sticker or some type of sticker on the car, they could put that in and track it just based off of that.
Oh, gosh. All right. That's great.
Okay. I've been calling you Alexander Graham Bell. I'm not going to do that. I haven't. I put you in our show notes as that, but it is Alex Duncan.
Alex.
And thank you so much. We might have to send you, we're debuting our allegedly hats because, everything's like it. Allegedly. We might have to send you one because it sounds like you need one to cover your new life. Hey, stay in touch, and thank you for what you're doing. We should tag team. We do the Muslim Minute every day where we play clips because so many people don't have any clue what's actually happening. So thank you for helping us along.
Well, thank you so much. And like I always say, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So please read this stuff, get involved, because that's the only way we're going to stop it.
Awesome.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Did anybody ever expect for Bill Maher to say what he's saying right now about the DSA? Did anybody ever expect Bill Maher to make comments, I don't know, maybe for the last 2 or 3 years? And he's maintained his own position, although he's recently said his vote is up for grabs because he's not going to remain a Democrat the way the party is right now. But did y'all ever see this coming from Bill Maher saying what he's saying now about the DSA, telling the truth? Like, he is torching his party over it.
Not to the extent that he has. He's made it a point to consistently call it out. And for those who don't know, let's play just like the first couple of seconds of his monologue. He did a 9-minute monologue to start his show this weekend strictly on this. And I encourage you to watch the whole thing because his takedown of it is masterclass. But here's just some of his monologue.
Donald Trump has told 1 trillion lies, but when he says the Democratic Socialists of America are actually communist, that's not one of them. And it's not hard to prove it just by quoting the DSA and their candidates. J.D. Vance was on the show, and I told him that if the Democratic Party keeps going in the direction of the DSA, my vote was in play. And all I heard all vacation was, oh my God, you're a Republican now. No, that's not what I said. I said in play. And here's why. Because not a week goes by where I don't read about some newly chosen, exciting new face in the Democratic Party. And then when that face opens its mouth, the Communist Manifesto or some other crazy shit comes out.
Amen to that.
That you can't. I don't even know how you argue that it's not communism. I guess they think we're stupid, which they do on both sides of the aisle. But they really think we're stupid.
Yeah, amen. They think we're stupid. They think we don't know, which is telling that they too have observed the apathetic culture we're in, that it's everybody else's responsibility to handle things. And so now we're just going to take up where leaders who won't lead have left off. And we're going to promise you lots of glittering, shiny, free things and think that you're going to buy it hook, line, and sinker.
Meanwhile, they also lie. Did y'all see Mom Donnie? You can't make it up. At their grocery stores.
I was just reading about that.
They were asking, how are you going to keep people from taking too much? How are you going to keep people from just buying a bunch and reselling it? And they said, well, we're going to have IDs.
What?
How ironic.
Huh.
They're liars.
So I found this, and you guys probably saw this too, just in regards to the Democratic Socialist. Like JP said, go back and watch what he said. But here are the candidates as if to prove Bill Maher truthful. He is on this. But this lady is kind of insane. So notice the issues in these people's platforms, because these are the people who are running going into midterms for the Democrats. A diagnosed bipolar Asian chick with a history of self-harm who's institutionalized in a psychiatric ward and overdosed on lithium and wants to get rid of Thanksgiving.
The last part, that does it.
And this is from Bad Hombre on X. I'm merely reading what Bad Hombre has to say. A guy who plays with the Dr. Fauci doll proclaims his love for trans kids and met his girlfriend at a gay bar.
Who are these people?
That's that guy.
Okay.
Tell Rico. A guy who dresses up as a mechanic for fun, married his cousin and knocked her up twice.
Troy Johnson.
A guy who frequents events where participants get tinkled on. I'm reading the words. I'm not going to actually use the other word. In a kiddie pool while wearing no bottom chaps, whose claim to fame is lowering the age of consent for men to sleep with little boys as young as 12. Decriminalize knowingly infecting others with AIDS and supporting allowing convicted pedophiles to run for school board. These are all socialist communist policies. This is seizing the means of production. This is separating kids from their families. This is blessing perversion and making it normal. This is exactly what they're doing. A Haitian chick who thinks the United States is a disgrace. She says other things. wants to abolish borders, law enforcement, and prisons. Those are the things she wants to abolish. Does that sound like a socialist? Yes. And finally, a Muslim guy who believes the U.S. deserved 9/11, is funded by the Muslim Brotherhood, and whose wife and father-in-law have terrorist connections. That's who the Democrats have put up as their socialist candidates running in the midterms. These once would have been laughable, but they are now put up as serious candidates who are basically publicly or quietly adherents to the DSA.
I think the part that's amazing is the Democrats that know, and they're, well, maybe I give them too much credit, but there's a lot of Democrats that are not on board with it, like the John Fettermans and the others, but there's a lot that are acting like they're socialists. They're just scared they're not going to win elections anymore. But I'm just amazed by how this communist wing of the Democratic Party is being accepted. Maybe they just realized it's going to happen anyway, so might as well jump on board so I can win my election. But, was it Margaret Brennan, who is with ABC? She was talking to Joe Manchin, and I didn't include this in the montage, but I thought it was really funny, where they were talking about the DSA, and Manchin was like, "This is insane." Manchin, who's now an independent, like, they're just flat up socialist and acting like it's okay. And Margaret says, "But what if they have good ideas?" And Manchin was like, "What are you talking about? Good ideas?" He was like, "Sure, I agree with the ideas, but socialism? It amazes, like, but what if they're good ideas?" It's like, are you guys listening to yourselves? So I don't know. I think this midterms will show all, because if they continue to win nationwide from, like actually gaining in the Senate and such, then that will tell where the direction of the Democratic Party is going. Because who knows? It could be they ruin it and these candidates lose when it comes to actual statewide office instead of municipal, whatever. But if they start to win and gain seats in the Senate, and Republicans continue to be the squishy, not wanting to do what's necessary party, then we're in trouble. But I don't know. I still hold hope that they won't win when it comes to actual, like, president, Senate. I hope I'm correct. But
how do we reconcile this with? Because there's all this momentum. I heard, the poll company isn't it. I think it was a Fox News poll, actually, which Fox News is not great at polling, but had Tallarico up by like 4 percentage points in Texas. And yet the Democratic Party itself is how many $1 million in debt?
Yeah. I have to pull it. I took a screenshot of it.
So how are they funding all of this? And what does that mean that they have no money? It's almost like there is a machine that is not actually the people or the party that are running these candidates and funding them, because they're getting attention. They're getting on TV. They're getting out in front of voters. They have the social media presence. They have the momentum. Yet it's odd to me that the Democratic Party is millions of dollars in debt.
$18 million in debt.
So how do we, what does that tell? How, if this is the movement and this is, do y'all see what I'm asking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then why are they?
How is this happening?
Just nothing really happens without a plan, does it?
So it's somebody that is maybe one person privately funding these campaigns, but maybe it's not the Democratic Party itself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking out loud.
Who do you think it could be? Do you have any ideas?
Well, I mean, I go to George Soros, but I think he's maybe a scapegoat. I don't know. He's the easiest one to fall back on, but I'm guessing it's foreign influence.
I'm about to say,
like Neville Singham.
Yes, those kind of people that just want to take down
the Muslim invaders that want to institute Sharia law via socialism.
Yeah,
the Muslims have a ton of money, so let's collapse the system.
That's terrifying.
So we can take over.
Terrifying. And yet we're the crazy ones who.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, we're bad.
We should probably just go home.
Okay.
Abs ready to go.
Okay. See y'all tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
I told Abs earlier we have to stay and film a podcast after this, and it's like, I think you need to go home and stare at a wall. And she said, okay.
I don't usually say those kind of things, but
I think today, I don't know how you did it, Abs. You're like Superwoman.
Oh, I am so not. But I missed y'all, and I needed to
missed
hang out with y'all today. Y'all are my people.
It is weird when you're not here.
Yeah.
I mean, we do okay. We keep it together.
I wish Abs was there at the Republican thing, right? Because
Oh man,
it's just like when the three of us go places together, we just have so much fun. And there's like moments where I was I was mingling by myself, and I was like, "Where's my these events aren't fun when I'm not with my people."
Where are my people?
Like I can mingle with people I know, but I'm like, there's something missing. It's like we need to go to the corner and do a food review video or something.
Yes, your entourage.
we're gonna be,
How did I miss the lady that came up and said,
"Oh yeah, is that alcohol?" I said it in
Where?
such a sweet way of like if Granny Ramass was like, "Yes, ma'am," and she goes, "Where?" Right over there.
I love it.
Sorry, I changed the subject.
Well, speaking of what, I mean, do we want to end the show on a Muslim minute?
Why not?
Those Muslims.
Hold on.
Tell me real quickly what's happening with the measles before we go to Muslims. If we give the Muslims measles, will they all go away?
Why are you talking about the RFK clip or?
Yeah. What? So what was she say? That it's a 35-year high, but is that not true?
I don't know. I didn't see that part of the clip. I just saw the part of the clip where she was saying the COVID vaccine was safe, and RFK was like, "You're acting like a parrot."
It was awesome.
Wait, was that not? I didn't make that up in the montage.
Well, it was part of the clip, but that clip in the montage was them talking about the COVID vaccine and like how it was safe.
Oh, so did I read the ticker?
No, but
where did I make that up?
No, the measles have been in the news. Let's go dig into that because I think that would be good for tomorrow because I heard there, whoever he is, Department of Health talk about measles like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we've got to get vaccinated. So clearly there's a public health push for vaccines. And I think Dana Bash was going right along with that in her interview. But I also would like to quell the measles discussion. And that's a worthwhile one because right now kids are going back to school and they're probably like, oh, and get your measles vaccine. It's back. Well, why is it back? Who brought it here?
Gain of function.
And
immigrants. Well, yeah. Okay. So, but there's another part where, I don't know if it was specifically measles or maybe it was Lyme disease, and, there was another that RFK was like gain of function research is what brought those, and it terrorizes kids and terrorizes the nation just like COVID did. And we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we need to dig into the things he was saying. That's a worthwhile discussion.
Okay,
because they love to freak people out. They're good at that, and we're here to go. No.
Meanwhile, I know a 13-year-old with eye cancer going through treatment right now, a 24-year-old with brain cancer and lung cancer, and a 45-year-old with breast cancer.
Oh my God.
And unfortunately, the kid from Alabama, Will, passed away from his cancer. It's
something that we need to talk about. A medical minute, if you were.
A medical minute.
There you go. I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, do we want to finish the show with Muslim Minute?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Well, that means it's time for the
Muslim
Minute with Charlie.
Done hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be upon, of Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
That was Times Square, by the way.
Number one, Do they do those kinds of gatherings in the 54 other countries where they're Islamic countries?
No.
Do they do those kind of things?
Nope.
Huh. Do they have any respect for women? I'm just asking. I didn't see any girls there. Maybe it was past their bedtime or something. Were there any girls there?
Oh God, I was gonna make a joke. No, there were not.
They were probably in the kitchen, weren't they?
Well, no, they were probably in a box somewhere,
That's right.
waiting
Fair.
to be raped and beaten.
Because apparently that's what they can do. They deserve it. They're dogs. Huh.
But that is okay. It looked like they shut down a street. Imagine if Christians tried to do that.
It'd
Everybody,
be a white pride march.
yeah. And everybody wants to claim, well, we have a First Amendment. Let the Muslims and Islam spread. It's the First Amendment. Yet at every turn, we are suppressing and oppressing Christians. And we don't get the same treatment that they do. Mainly because they don't fear us. I think, did y'all watch at Oxford? Gosh, what was his name?
Yes.
Okay. You watched that where he was speaking and he was about to take out a photo of Muhammad and show it, which is very, very illegal. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see this? Okay,
I saw the clip of it.
We
Didn't-
might. Okay. We might have to save this for another Muslim minute. But basically, to show the face or a photo or a sketch of Muhammad is really, really bad. I guess it will get. Isn't that how the one guy died in France or in
Yes.
the
Yes, it is.
teacher?
Yes.
He got his throat slit on the, and so there. It's like a debate at Oxford or something, and this guy he has an envelope and it's closed, and he says he's going to take out a picture of Muhammad, and I mean, people, the legislators or the elected officials start standing up and speaking out, and you can see and hear the fear is of the retaliation from the Muslims if this happens. And I won't tell you how it ends. That is the motivator for this. They know they are a savage, dangerous people, and they are so scared to go up against them. And meanwhile, we're just watching our country crumble. And Times Square, of all things, to see the gap in the background, you're like, my brain can't even, it's like a symbolism of capitalism. It's a symbol of capitalism of America, of our childhood. And you've got some crazy Muslim.
The other part that I would love to do is, yes, I am completely tracking with you. What would happen if there were Christians doing that? It wouldn't happen. But also, I would love to translate what they're saying when they're saying it. Because guys like that usually do it in Arabic. Sometimes it's translated into English. But the same thing happened with a call to prayer where we heard, I guess Mom Donnie was there, and this might have been back in February, but we need to start translating and reading aloud, if it's in Arabic, what they're actually saying, so we can acquaint ourselves with what it is. Basically, generally, kill the infidels. Submit, surrender, kill the infidels. We need to know what they're saying.
And by the way, that video was probably a year or more ago.
Yeah.
So that's not new. You know, you would think Mom Donnie's in, they are bold. No, that started a long time ago.
But every time I hear the clips like that, I just, again, wish that Christians would speak about our true God, the only true God, with the fervor that they speak about their false God with. Like, imagine, because we have the true God of Yahweh on our side, but yet we cower and we don't speak. We don't say it with our chest like they say it about Allah, thinking that Allah is the only true God worthy of worship, and it will enter every household. Imagine if Christians who actually have the true God on their side fight it with that same fervor, we will win, but we don't. And my pastor actually gave it one of the best sermons I'd ever heard this weekend about this exact thing, and he was referencing Psalm 132, and how, connected to 2 Samuel 7, when David, after Saul had kept the Ark of the Covenant pretty much hidden away for decades because he didn't think it was worthy of worship. Like, look, it's just the ark, whatever, keep it away. But when David came into power, he said, no, this is the Ark of the Covenant. This is God and on this earth. This is worthy of worship, and it deserves to reside in Jerusalem to be worshipped. And, well, Jerusalem was ruled by the Jebusites at that time. And David didn't go, oh, well, you know what? I don't want to be mean. We can just have it over here. Like, no, he saw that the ark and God was worthy of war to have it placed in its righteous place of worship. And he fought a war against the Jebusites and won, and then marched through Jerusalem with the Ark of the Covenant, and then daily danced and worshiped in front of, this is the king of Israel, danced in front of the ark and worshiped it. That is the same fervor. Like that just contradicts what modern Christianity, the soft and squishy of, well, God just calls us to be in our corner and everybody's truth is their own and we love. Like, no, the God of the Bible says, conquer your enemy when they need to be conquered. Now, obviously, today it's not with the sword, maybe yet, but we're not going to initiate with the sword. We're going to walk forward with that same fervor, with love and confidence, though, that no, our God is the true God. We'll welcome you to our side, but the facts are the facts. Our God is the true God. Like, it is not a religion of soft and squishiness. Just look back to David and look back at the wars that David fought on behalf of God. It contradicts. It's not the soft and squishy religion.
Okay, this is so good. We didn't plan this. I just sent you a video, and I don't know if we want to play it because there are lots of bad words in it. But it is so good. And Jake Lang is up in Dearborn, Michigan, and he's standing on the sidewalk and he's preaching Jesus. He's preaching loudly. And Jake Lang is a little annoying. He's kind of a provocateur, but he has every right to stand on a sidewalk in public and preach and say what he wants. And there's a Muslim crowd that's walking by. And what happens is so telling and so tragic. And I again, there's some really bad words in this.
Maybe we could narrate it while it's on mute.
The bad words are really, I almost want to say, because what they say to him, what the Muslims say to him is so horrific. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow. But this is what's going to start happening when we start preaching Jesus. He started talking about Jesus as the only God, and it enraged these Muslim men that were walking by, and they went after him. He was stoned. He literally throwing rocks, injured him. I think he had to go to the hospital. Police had to step in to help him, but they attacked him because they cannot stand the gospel. And as their numbers grow, again, this is in Dearborn, Michigan. That's exactly what's going to start happening around the country, where their numbers get bigger and bigger, and they get more bold and more physical and more verbally attacking Christians, Americans. And we're just like, come on in. The water's fine. We'll warm it up for you.
But along the way, I sent probably last week, JP, also maybe for Wednesday, the Muslim dilemma, because we want to make you aware not only of these things, because elected officials, we are counting on you. We've got to figure out what we're going to do about it, because come on in, the water's fine isn't going to work. But the other part of it is we have to be able to, when challenged, talk about the Muslim dilemma. It's a 1-minute discussion on how we get them to wait, maybe what I've been taught isn't exactly right, because they have a significant dilemma with their books and with ours. And it is a great breakdown on how we can communicate to at least get them to the point of discussion. So I'd love to do that this week as well.
Maybe we need to do a whole thing, and we can put up like flashing warning signs before the clip.
I think that's good.
But I think people need to understand this is what's coming, and this is one tool you need to use to combat it.
Yep.
All right. Go. We need to end on a funny note.
I'm trying to debate the one. Okay.
Oh,
here's one.
No.
Okay. Would you rather never have a wedgie or never have anything stuck in your teeth ever again?
Never have anything stuck in my teeth ever again. Oh gosh, I don't
Would
know
you
what
ra-
that means.
Yeah.
I have a better one if you want.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to think. Wedgies are annoying, but I'm going teeth.
I'll probably do that too. Would you rather always have an annoying song stuck in your head or always have an itch that you can't reach?
That's
I'll do song.
song. Yeah, I don't want to be. Song.
Yeah, an itch is annoying. All right, I'm going song.
You know, song stuck in my head because I watched Family Guy last night is the one where it's like, have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? So freaking good. Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? If you haven't, then I think you should.
Which is true. It's
Play
true.
that tomorrow. I've never heard that song,
Great
JP.
song.
It sounds delightful. I do like butter on my Pop-Tart.
Me too.
No icing though.
Never had it.
Strawberry, no
I'm
icing
really
butter.
upset. What did you just say?
I've never had it. I'll have to try it.
JP.
Should listen to the song.
Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? I think you should.
I think I should too.
Toast it, butter it. It's good.
Y'all, we'll be back tomorrow. I don't even know what tomorrow is. Oh, allegedly. And us. You don't want to miss it. See y'all then.